Let's say a wondrous amen to Kentuha. Amen. Yes, as we await our teacher this afternoon, I'll call the vineyards straight so that they will sing also. From then we shall have a hymn if the teacher has not yet come. Yes, the vineyards. What do we say, church? Yes.
Happy Sabbath members. I didn't want to come back because of time. It's already late, and I'm worried that when I start, I don't finish. That's why I was pleading with her to take up this session and talk to you. But she's told me that as a measure, let her talk last so that I will talk small. But she told me if she talks fast, I may not finish. So let me handle some issues, and then I'll give her a chance to handle some little issues also. Time is not enough. Like I told you, the truth is, I've prepared my life for family life. And one of the things I want to do for life is holding such seminars, to talk to young people, talk to marriages that are struggling, and to see how they get peace. Not because mine is perfect, but because at least it is what I wanted it to be. At least I have not regretted any minute in my marriage. In fact, as a matter of fact, I've had one conflict in my marriage for all the time I've married. And when I say conflict, I don't mean that there was an exchange of words or an exchange of blows. But the only conflict I remember, which if I had time would also talk about as an example here, was just a conflict of ideas. And if I was evaluating, I would give my marriage 9 out of 10. And that's one reason I feel I should talk to more of you about the same. Father in heaven, even this afternoon, we have a little things to talk about. Allow your spirit to lead us even unto the end. This we pray in Jesus' name. Dating, a prerequisite to healthy marriage. These principles, I will ask that next, when you will find some time, at a later time, you can arrange another day and call us. And then we have these principles shared well. It would be better if we had even a Friday Vespers and then Sabbath. So there are many things. But then sometimes because of time you keep jumping, taking one, taking the other. And yet all of them are very important. Let me tell you one thing before you continue, guys. Every relationship is built by knowledge and wisdom, not love. Did you understand that? The saying, I love her, I love him, is good, but it's not enough. Love alone can never build a relationship, even if it is a friendly relationship. When I talk about love, in this case, I'm specific about the fourth type. You know, when we talk about love, we have agape, we have eros, we have threo and stark. And each of them has different dimensions. But I'm talking about eros, the erotic one. The one that occurs between a man and a woman, that involves sex and deep emotional feelings, is what we call eros. So when I say love is never enough, I mean that. I'm not meaning agape, because agape is enough. But agape doesn't reside with human sinners. Agape resides with God. Only God gives us part of it. But us, we are just selfish. As I begin, a story is told in one of the books I read about a man who had married this woman for more than 10 years. And every day of the anniversary, this man could not remember. You know, if there are things that are not easy to remember are those dates, birthday of your sweetheart, of your kid, the first day you met. And you know those things matter. Gents, let me say that to you. Remember those important dates. Remember when you first saw her. Remember when she said yes. Remember when she was born. Remember when she chucked you. Remember when you had a quarrel. Those dates, record them plain. And say them over and over. You know why? They are a sign that you care about little details. And if there's anything women love on earth, is a man who cares about their little nothings. Not big things. Women are never interested in buying them gifts or big gifts. They're interested in asking them, how was your night? When we left yesterday for Jumolo, it was late. How did you reach home? Did you even get what to eat? Even if you don't offer. But a sound of care. Do you care to know? That time you told me your mom was sick, has she recovered? Oh my goodness. That she thinks about for a week and knows I've found a man in him. Not just about, come, I take you out. Yes, it's good, but not good enough. As we proceed, we shall understand, and if time will allow, that we have different needs. Whereas men's number one need is sex. Women's number one need is affection. Affection. Women want sex. They don't need sex. But men need sex. That's why we've had awkward stories of men who have defiled 1-month-old girls. Have you not heard that? Men that have slept with pigs, dogs, cows. The other day I was on a radio station or TV. It was a TV station of some of these born-agains. And some man was giving a testimony of how he used it. Not the things. That whenever he would be in the banana plantation cutting, ebisigala wansi ngo otemye etoke bichi babita ki? Nyankole babyete bisiku umurugana babyeta ki? You know those things, like you cut a banana plant, take off the banana, so that stem, the lower one that remains. Now, in sometimes it takes time and then rots. And then inside it forms some liquid with fiber. Right? And it is always that whenever he would be cutting, he would see how soft it is and he would imagine something. And then he would touch in and make some hole. And look up, down, and no one is seeing him, and he addresses. And he goes into it. Amen. And he was giving it. I was like, how did we reach that? Like how? Men can do anything to satisfy their lower passions. And that's why, ladies, I will tell you that men are animals. Say it, that men are animals. You fear to say it. Men are animals, I tell you the truth. And I've always told my dear wife that I am a lion, only bridled by God. The day and I don't lie, I think I don't lie. The day the godliness in me gets out of me, I'm as good as a tiger. What any other man does out, I can do. And that's what we are. You'll hardly hear stories of women doing such things. You know why? Because women are not so much about sex. That's why it is possible for a woman to lose a wife, a husband, and they don't marry for the rest of their lives. But how many men do that? They marry even before the corpse rots. They do. Because men's number one need is sex, while women's number one need is affection. And what is affection? The effects. What is affection? Let me check the English dictionary. Then affection, Oxford says, it is the act of affecting or acting upon. The state of being affected. Another definition, an attribute, a quality of property, no. An emotion, a feeling or natural impulse acting upon and swaying the mind. But the fifth one is the best. A feeling of love or strong attachment. That's affection. A feeling of love or strong attachment. And how does that come? Like I started. you eat last night? Did you eat? No, I didn't eat. Okay, sorry. But please be better than that, okay? Better than sorry. Yeah. That time your brother lacked tuition. Did he complete the semester? No. Let's pray about it. That call late in the night. Honey, have you slept? Have you got sleep? How much does that cost? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You see? Things of that. A woman needs a man that cares to understand how she feels. Not necessarily a man that can provide. Yes, that is a good man. But a man who fights to understand how he feels. Do you feel how he feels? Do you know what he passes through? Do you know how it makes her feel? Are you concerned anyway? As opposed to a man who brings millions and puts them on the table and he doesn't know how he spends them, that's your business. That's why you would drop millions and some other man will come with a border board and pick her up and be there for the whole day to see her shopping, and she will feel the effect of love, affection, and she'll be drawn to that, not the giver. I don't want to go that direction now. Now, Brian was wedded to Sarah for years. And this guy did not remember the anniversary date whenever it happened. And so he ended up missing. And the woman, Sarah, was always complaining. So one day, Brian remembers it was the anniversary. And he decided to surprise. And when I talk about the word surprise, I want you to be very wise. Sometimes you may prepare to surprise someone and you surprise yourself. I don't know if you understand that. One day, when I was still dating my wife, I wanted to surprise her. And you know what I did? It was her birthday. I was living in Ntungam and she was in Mbarara theirs. I came to Mbarara. We had a function in Kabwe who didn't even go there. The whole day, I had called my friend in Ntungam, prepare for a very good function. I called people about 20. They prepared chicken, they prepared cake, everything, but I was not there. I had spent almost a month in Kampala with her. And so, they had prepared. And she didn't know, but it was her birthday. So the whole day, I traveled from Kampala. Was it from Kampala? No, I think I went from Mbarara. And I went in the morning to and say happy birthday. I didn't say anything, and I think she was already mad. That this stupid man does not remember my birthday. My birthday is 20th December. So, he was already mad. Waiting for every opportunity I would say happy birthday, sweetheart. And she was not willing to do that. You see why? Because I was preparing a surprise. And I couldn't ruin it. But in preparing a surprise, I surprised myself, which was already ready. And I know, how many times did we go to the village, to Ntungam? When we reached, went to the house, my woman. You know women, bad women, they come to a room and they want to make a change. Even when you're really super clean, they tell you, this chicken should have been there, that table should be there, the lamp should be there, this light should be there, this has to be there. This is how she said yes. That's what they want to do. They want to change everything. And I like it. Because they do. And you did. She's changed one, at least. I was known to be one of the slowest boys on earth. But I'm one of the fattest. She has changed one lot. And it's good. So, she starts that donkey work. When she tried to wash a shirt, I want she washed. And when she became washing, it was horrific. And people are calling me. We are late. We've prepared come. But how do we take her? So I told her, no. It's evening. Let's go to and get dinner. And she tells me, no, me, I'm too busy. Go and... And I said to myself, angry. I was so ashamed to me. I'm so busy. You go tell me, eat and bring me takeaway. Takeaway? When I've prepared the surprise, I've spent my money. Don't bring takeaway. Now, wisdom, wait for it. Don't laugh. I just need a special husband. But the wrong guy, I failed. I called my husband and said, no.
So finally I said, okay, let me come. I went out. It was getting to 7. Food was getting cold. I went out to the party. It was in someone's house. I found guys sat, ready, waiting for me. He said, you've come home? I said, my friend, what empathic throws here. She's refused. I said, hey, how do you even know that she refused? She has refused. I said, God, I don't want to be surprised anymore. What do I do? And they couldn't. I said, okay, let me pray for the SOS. I prayed about it, but the woman was tough. What I said, she was sad. She was angry. I don't know why. Because I was being built in my heart. I didn't assume that she was angry. Right? Because I was doing something good, okay? But on the other side, I was looking at a very stupid, uncaring, selfish man. You understand? The point of view of life is different. And before I leave, I will tell you that we come from different planets. Wewe ni mwenyewe. Unabuka nini na yangu? You are from Mars. And you are from? Peter, where are from? You are from Mars. And you are from? Venus. Yes. You are from Mars. And you are from Venus. The book. I have it. It fights to bring out our differences. And until we appreciate that we are totally different from one, we shall never have sensible relationships. The beginning of a sensible relationship is to understand that Elijah and man are different. If you can't stand how different they are, marriage will be so easy for you and many other relationships. But expecting to reach at the same level when the other one is yes, because they'll never be the same. If you get what I'm saying. I want to come back. After praying, I said, what do I do? I told her, sweetheart, please let's go and have lunch dinner. She says, I've told you over and over again what is over you. Go and pick her what's going over here. I'm here busy washing. So finally I told her the truth. After that, sometimes you get surprised. You get surprised. I told her the truth. I told her, you know, sweetheart, when I will tell you now, the same thing I've not told. I said, what? You know, my friend Robert said, yeah, I've always talked about you. I don't know him. Because I was just introducing her to my friends. Robert stays up here, maybe. So her wife, he and his wife prepared for us dinner. And they wanted us to take dinner tonight since I wanted to introduce it to them. So I didn't want to tell her, I wanted to be a surprise. So I wanted us to go. I said, no, I didn't have such. And she started again. And we are now this time we put off and hate her. But now if you ever hate her, they don't call it hate. And it will become impossible for you to hate. Listen, let's go. And now she knew I had of course told her the biggest secret. And then she accepted to go. Let me tell you, women feel okay when you tell them your secrets. Did you hear that? Women need confidence in husbands and boyfriends. They would rather hear from you a lie than hear nothing. If you cannot tell them the real truth, now I'm not going to commission a lie, but tell them. Talk to them. They want you to know some part of inside that you're hiding. So she got a bit okay because I was hiding all day. And now she forgot about the anger, I think, but still she was angry. And she decided to hide her anger, and we go to a friend's home for a dinner. Little did she know that that was also a lie. And then we went up, and the rest, you know what happens. Drew the curtain, and everyone was singing, happy birthday. And she was so surprised. She shed a tear. And you know that is the success of every man who is surprising. If she doesn't cry, you have not surprised her. And you know, because women know that, some of them cry intentionally. Hey, I saw a woman who cried on her own proposal that she prepared herself, and she cried. Hey, because they know when you don't cry, videos show you cry. I didn't expect this. They think you're not surprised enough. And she cried this time. I think it was real. It was a tough day. I bring this to tell you that you may prepare to surprise someone and you end up getting surprised. Brian
thought tonight I'm going to surprise Sarah. But he was in the process of getting surprised. He gets away from work early enough, goes to the shops, buys a bouquet of flowers, buys some gift, and then as he was about to leave, he saw some cards. You know, gift shops have cards. And cards suit every function, okay? If it's a burial, there is a card. Pitying you. If it's a success card, you know the words of the success. If it's introduction, cards are there. If it's a wedding, if it's anniversary, depending on what words are written, a card suits a function. So Brian buys a card for anniversary. Reads very well. Writes, to my sweetest wifey, Sarah, happy anniversary. And then buys a book of flowers and drives home. All day long, Sarah is tirelessly waiting again for a man who always forgets. Has prepared a good meal and is waiting. If God will do a miracle in him and he remembers that they have an anniversary today. And to her surprise, the man turns up early. We say amen. He turns up with a book of flowers. What a romantic man this is. She feels very happy. Receives flowers. Gives some good kisses. And oh my God. Feels loved. That's what women want. Let me tell you, that's what women want. They want a book of flowers once in a while. If you can't afford a book of flowers, pass by MUST community and pluck some of them. They are beautiful. Look at them. Look at them. They are beautiful. Look at those flowers. Stack them together and bring high flowers on Sabbath. No one has brought any woman flowers today, including me. And yet they are beautiful flowers outside here. Pick those. You're starting. Pick them. When you're going for divine, tell her, happy Sabbath, my love. The sermon will not enter her ears that day. She spent the whole of divine service thinking about the flower, smelling and touching. And you would have won some heart that day. And so, after some few kisses and happiness, it all ends up in premium tears. You know why? He comes to a card. Unfortunately, on opening the card, the card is a success card. It's not an anniversary card. The man in hurrying up did not read well the words. He brought a success card instead of an anniversary card. And so the woman says, ooh, what type of a stupid man this is? Very uncaring, very unloving. You are too busy in your other women to the extent that you can't remember that today is the anniversary. He says, oh, look at it. What's your problem? Bring the card and I see. He looks at the card and says, oh, I'm sorry, babe, I'm sorry. I thought stupid. How can you do that? Only stupid people do that. You don't love me enough. Why don't you do this? And then it becomes into conflict. At first, Brian keeps quiet. The woman gets madder. Shouts. Starts talking. That's why you have not been remembering all our anniversaries for the previous years. Moreover, I don't know even who told you. Maybe your girlfriend must have told you it's anniversary night. And so you just picked anything and came. Now you look at your family. You're like your father. You're like your brother. You don't know, Hey, there are women who have degrees and PhDs in quarreling, Can't you leave such a small thing and concentrate on a book of flowers and kisses? Hasn't this man done a lot to deserve that? But one simple thing. And then, before we go on, the man said, look, you're now becoming disrespectful. How do you go that far? How do you compare me to my father? You're stupid also. You are ungrateful. You can't thank me. I've done a lot. I've even remembered. I've brought you flowers. You're very ungrateful. Said, no, you're stupid. You are unloving. Oh my God. It turns into hell. The next morning, they were before the counselor with bruises everywhere. Before the marriage counselor. Seeking divorce. And then, all that communicates one thing. And this is what we call the crazy cycle. The crazy what? Say the crazy cycle. The crazy cycle. Let me tell you guys, as you prepare to relate with opposite sex, there is what we call the crazy cycle. A cycle is something that doesn't end. One thing leads to another one leads to the other one leads to the former. We call it In biology, it's called a cascade, I think. A cascade effect. A crazy cycle. Let me tell you, in any relationship, when a man and a woman quarrel, they are communicating two things, only two things. And this is what they communicate. Their needs. You hear that? Their needs. The Bible says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved his church and gave his life for it. Amen? Wives, do what? Wives, do what? Say it loud, I want to hear it. Wives, to your husbands, as the church submits to its owner Christ, God has tuned us to those two great needs. Love, respect. Well, as the number one need of, the other need of man is respect. Woman's need is love. A woman wants to be loved, while a man wants to be respected. As you enter those relationships, you must understand and remember that a good woman is she that respects his man. Okay? Respect your man in all corners. That's why you meet very ugly women, but have built their good families. You look at them and say, I would also not marry this one. No, I would not marry that one. But he's successfully married. When you enter their family, you understand the reason. The man is a king. Men want to be kings in their relationships and homes. They want to be treated as such. While women want to be treated as kids. Those are pecks we give our little daughters. Those are hugs. Those are I love you every other day. They want to hear it every day. Never get tired of it. They want it. And so, when a woman is shouting and quarreling, all the words she uses, a million of them, she's only communicating one thing. You don't love me. If you loved me, you wouldn't have done this. You get the point? If you loved me, you would have given me this. If you loved me, you would have done this. So the communication is one. You don't love me. And in every quarrel, a man is communicating one thing. You woman, you are disrespectful. You don't give me respect. I'm your husband. You should keep quiet and I talk. You don't. And it's called a crazy cycle. And it's something that is dangerous if you don't understand it. That's why I chose otherwise when I understood that. When that cycle starts, if I see we are almost heading to sharp words, or somewhere she looks not happy, I give one word, she answers. I give a second. If she answers the second time, I know we are starting a cycle. I always back off. And then keep to myself, think. Good enough, my woman is a quiet one. And then see how I can pass any angle and show love. And I know that will be end. As simple as that. I will not quarrel. If I wanted to drive a point home and she's not understanding it at the point, I will leave it. Pass through here and there, show her love, and we laugh. One day, one morning, I will find when she's in her moods and I tell her, do you know the other time that I wanted to mean this and that? Oh, this what? Why did you not tell me? But could you listen? And she said, okay, I see. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I've now understood it. Don't argue. Don't die to drive a point home. A marriage relationship is more important than ideas or than a point you're making. Why lose a marriage because of a point? I don't know if you get me. You're just watching a movie. She says that, you say that, and you lose the relationship because of a movie. Go out and play football. Leave a movie alone, you know. And it happens. Now, I wish we had a week-long seminar. We'd have talked much. But we don't have that time. I had prepared some principles of dating, 4 of them. But I'm worried. I'm fearing to start them. dating is different from courtship. Some of you do not separate the two. Do you? There was a story I met on English Church Globe one day. And one of us was giving a scenario where he is a friend to both people who have been rating for long, and both of them are non-church members. They had rated for long, and they had already engaged themselves in a sexual relationship, but they were not officially married. They had not even visited well. And so a woman had a chronic disease that a man was not aware of, And time came when that disease actually is thought to have brought a miscarriage of the only child they were expecting. And then the man took off for his life. And then the girl was too depressed. And this Adventist friend of ours that is reporting is torn apart. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to tell the girl or the boy, because both of them are the friends. And so he brings the concern to the group. And that evening, I didn't want to get engaged into conversations on the group. I saw it. I had typed some five lines, and then I deleted them, and I said in a small line that we also need to understand the reasons for a boy. And then no sooner had I put that down than female members on the group said, "No! Nothing to understand about this boy. Is stupid. Nothing to understand. How dare you leave a woman after impregnating her in all that pain? How dare?" And then everyone seemed to take that direction. And then a few who wanted to defer were scared because women were tough. And I said, "No, I have to intervene here." I wrote a message. I told them, one, there are things we have to analyze. In the first place, if I'm dating you, do you become a wife? Are you my wife? Do you have anything that sticks us together for life? Am I supposed to die because I'm dating you? If I dated you and I didn't know you have asthma, now I find you have asthma and I feel I can't maintain it, am I wedded with you? Should I stay in a relationship where I regret my decision? Would you even want me to do that? To be your husband that, you disgust me the whole life? Would you love it? So why would I get stuck in that relationship? If I feel I can't take care of this, I move out. So I told them the only problem they had done is that they had gone so sexual, and so it leaves a lot of scars. And then women warm me up and said, "Oh, so this is what you teach our kids." So teaching our kids to go sleeping with everyone and leaving them. I said, that's not what I'm teaching. I'm not actually teaching kids to sleep with anyone, but I'm teaching that they have liberty to quit a relationship that doesn't work for them if they have not committed. Better 1,000 broken courtship or dating relationships than one broken marriage vow. Better. I would rather see you break 100 relationships and leave people heartbroken than see you seeking divorce one day. And I'm serious about that. It caused the commotion on the group there. We talked too much things. I quoted here and there. Finally, I quoted in Adventist home. White says, "Look up. Conditional marriages are deadly. Enter a relationship on any condition." I'm not going to expand that. But no condition whatsoever should stick you to a relationship you're not comfortable with, because you will regret. Instead of regretting, you better break it at that point. No condition, I said no condition. And then I stood on that to warn girls, and I'm going to warn you tonight. Girls, something has cropped right in our church. And right in MUST-SDA, by the way. More evidently than any other church I know. And I'm speaking truth because I'm experienced in this church. I've been here for years now. 10. This is one church we know that has groomed its members to marry from within. And I like that. Don't you like it? Almost every year, we get couples getting married from MUST-SDA. And it's a good attribute. Is it not good? I like it. I like it because that shows how serious the church is growing. Yes. That shows how committed our boys are. They are not wasting our daughters. Neither our daughters are wasting our boys. They are serious. I like it. But there is one habit that has cropped in this right church. And I've seen it for years now. And I want to take this stage to condemn it. Girls, stop causing men to marry you because you will regret it. Let men decide to marry you with all their senses wide open. You may think you have won him today, but it is to your disadvantage when his senses come back. And you know how you're doing it? You're causing yourselves like Ruth that I talked about. You're bringing yourselves naked to men, tempting them beyond measure, that the insensible men have also given into the temptations and succumbed. They have slept with you when it is early. And that is a killer itself. I've told you in the morning that sex compromises reason. Sex compromises decision. And because you know that very well, you are dishing out sex to our presidents, to our deacons, to our head gents, because you think they are good men to take you up. And you know, in their right senses, they're not going to pick you. And so you want them compromised by sex. Because you know, when they have sex with you and they leave you, you're going to use your tool, your mouth, to go bad-mouthing them everywhere in the church. He used me. He used me. And then you think that is going to work for you. Oh, you're lucky. It wasn't me. You can't cause me to marry you for any reason. You can't. Me? You can't. Even if I've slept with you 100 times, for heaven's sake, if I did, I don't care. If we don't measure up, it is a gone case. I won't come back. I've told you from the beginning, I don't want you to go sleeping with your sisters and brothers. That's not right. That's not right, okay? But even if your relationship has gone beyond that level, I want to tell you that God can receive you and forgive you and prepare your way. But don't use that as a blackmail for marriage, because you will regret it. Girls, stop dishing out sex to hook up men. We have seen very marriages, even from here, that have married and given birth at 7 months. You may dig, some of you. If that happens, we say that's a premature, isn't it? And it's supposed to be in the total word in MUST-SDA. But you're producing old, mature babies at 7 months. What does that mean? You were 2 months pregnant when we wedded you. And what is that? You blackmailed the man because he thought it is going to be viral. He's preparing to be an elder. He's been a president here. He's been a deacon. Who will know that he impregnated someone and left them? He's not even going to propose an abortion because he's a rightful SDA thinker. And so you have grabbed him in your 5 hands. He has nowhere to go. Yeah, he stays and marries you. You will regret it one day. Please, do not tread in that line. Ladies, keep safe. Stop using crooked ways to get men. Okay? Am I talking to someone today? I don't know if you've seen what I've seen, but I've seen it. I've been here. In this church of SDA. I've seen, guys. And I know what I'm talking about. I would rather respect a man that has cohabited and produced without wedding than a man that has wedded and lied to everyone that they have not met. You're lying, people, not God. And God is seeing you. Okay? Be faithful. Now, dating and courtship are different in various ways. I know you people want to fix them. So when I told you that in dating you have a chance to drop those relationships, you didn't know. But dating is more casual and informal. Dating focuses on having fun and getting to know each other. Dating often involves trying out different partners. Dating emphasizes on personal freedom and autonomy. Dating may involve physical intimacy early on, and dating is less commitment. Presents less commitment and accountability. If I'm dating you up, you're not supposed to go telling me, where is the money? You earn 1 million. What is it? Why did you use it? We are dating. For heaven's sake. There is a story that they told me about. A boy who had worked so tirelessly to put himself somewhere. And so he builds his house in the village. Sets up some things. And then gets this poor girl. And boys, avoid girls that come from poor families. I'm not saying they are not supposed to be married. But if a girl comes from a poor family and she is not tamed spiritually, she's the devil. You'd better die with one that comes from a well-off family. Girls who have come from poor families and they find a man has a car, has money, and the spiritual part of them is dead. Oh, they would tell the whole village how the whole village is lazy. How they don't own cars or anything. They are deadly. One of them I told in the morning, she told me, buy a car. I asked her, does your father at 60 have a car? She kept looking at me. I asked her, your elder sister is married to a lawyer. Does she have a car? She kept looking at me. I said, how do you expect me at 27 to have a car when your father at 60 doesn't have it? And I told her the truth, for heaven's sake, I told her, I'm not lying. I don't lie on a pulpit. I asked her that. What is the effect? Poverty. You grow thinking that what you didn't get at home, you should get in your marriage. Yes, that's right, but in the rightful way. And when you are working with your man, it's not an entitlement. So this man decided to take his girlfriend and introduce her home, you know. Now they prepare some good meal at home, and then they put glasses, they put plates, they give. And so she comes. And then they sit and talk, and time for lunch comes. And she's a fair woman to look at. And everyone has liked her. And then as they are getting served, the maid lifts poorly the glass, and the glass drops down and breaks. Ah! Glass. A glass, Yahweh. Your glass? You hear that word? That look at this stupid fool, he has broken my glass. My glass. I'm dating you. When I bought glasses, you weren't here. In fact, for heaven's sake, you don't even know where these glasses have come from. I may have borrowed them from a neighbor. And you shout at a maid that this fool has broken a glass. And then the mother called the boy and told her, if you bring this woman here as a wife, I'm no longer your mother. And that was her end. She didn't come to that family. Thank God she didn't. Girls, I am only dating you. You are not supposed to give me instructions. I'm not supposed to give you accountability. We are only but friends. We are not even courting. There is a relationship I'm not going to talk about. They had even reached so far. And the woman became so demanding accountability here and there. And they were just dating. And the boy said, if you've started doing this now, what will happen when I take you home? When I commit myself with a ring? And that is it. Some of you women are breaking your own relationships. Please, know your limits. Dating is more casual than formal. And as a matter of fact, when you're dating, stop publicizing it, because that is not a relationship. Dating involves knowing each other, okay? As in knowing, not sexually. In a date, I may fall for her, and I tell her after Sabbath, let's meet at Lakeview, and we have dinner. We may have dinner together, okay? I may push her to her room. We talk. Different issues. And go home. I'm just trying to know who she is. I'm just trying to see if we can catch up. You get the point? I'm not sleeping with her. And you shouldn't. And that shouldn't give her entitlement that because I've taken her out, I shouldn't take her or her. Is it your money? The other man asked in the Bible. Have you ever read of that story in the Bible? Where this man woke up very early at 6 and brought workers into the garden. And they finished the work. And at midday there, he went to the market and brought others. And at 3, he brought. And then at 5, when the work was getting done at 6, he brought another group. And then the work was done. And he said, come and I pay you. And then he started with those that came at 5 and gave them 1 denarii. And then went to the group that came at midday and gave them 1 denarii. And then when he came to the first group that came at 6 and gave them 1 denarii, they said, Master, are you fair? How dare you give them 1 denarii? This that came 1 hour ago, and for us that have worked for 12 hours. He said, what did I agree with you? He said, 1 denarii. What have I given you? 1. So, do you stop my cautious behavior? Do you stop my courtesy? You don't. And they ran away. Some women want to stop our courtesy. I have a right to take every guy in here out if I'm single. As long as I'm not sleeping with them. I have a right to take them for dinner. I have a right to go walking and jogging in the morning. I have a right to take them to the cinema. I have a right to take them anywhere. They are not married to anyone, and I'm not married to anyone. Then, because I took you out last week doesn't mean I don't take Meron this week. Or Susan next week. Or Gloria the other week. Please. That's why I told you, when you start getting those, that, what did I call it in the morning? Obsession. You know you're in a wrong relationship. Dating is supposed to be casual. And then courtship is more formal, more commitment, more serious and more focused on where you're going. By the time you reach courtship, you've dated with very many girls and you've seen that Meron is the right woman I can go with, okay? And now you're going with Meron and you have now decided to take some steps ahead. You have even put dates for some activities, okay? Now you are in a serious relationship. At that point, as a Seventh-day Adventist youth, I don't expect you to be seeing another woman. You had a chance and you've used yours you've selected. At that point, unless otherwise, and mark my words, because even in courtship, a relationship is free to be broken. You have not consummated anything. You owe nothing to another. But at least at that level, the relationship is serious. At least the elders have known. The church members are seeing you. At least we see that these two people are seeing each other and they are heading somewhere, much as they are not yet there. Even a serious guy can take you down that at that stage. But at least they are headed for something. They have had a roadmap drawn together. And let me tell you guys, when that time comes, don't over-delay it. Let it be 1 month, 2, 3, 6. Why take it to a year or 2? What were you doing in dating? Why would you court someone for a year or 2? Doesn't make sense. By the time you decide to court someone, you must have learned enough of them. And you must be serious. Courtship is more serious. Dating is more casual. Are we getting the difference? Are we getting the difference, guys? Stop jumping to courtship before you date. Because it will deprive you of the choices and the opportunity cost. Don't jump the stage. First, exploit dating. Don't jump. Like dating, courtship is repellent sex. Once sex is involved, the whole process is nullified. Avoid it. Okay? And now, this dating, I'm going to give 4 principles about it. Just 4 that can, for today, take us through. 1, readiness. Someone may ask me, What is the right age for dating? But there is no specific age. Because well, some people mature at 12, others mature at 18. Well, some people marry at 20, others marry at 30. You get the point? Depending on your needs, on your timeline, chronologically, physically and spiritually, dating can be at any time. As long as you think you're ready for it. But you have to be first ready. And the primary benefit, like I said, is to know each other. Period. To know each other. It is important in developing self-esteem. Dating. Someone may ask me, why must I date here and there and there? Why don't I wait for my time? And when I think I'm going to marry next month, I get one woman, boom, marry her, and I stop this nonsense of dating. You're at a big risk also. Dating enhances esteem. Let me talk about esteem in a very small context. Esteem is something that people have not taken serious. But when I meet you, I know your esteem levels. And how do I know? I look at how you behave, how you talk, and who you walk with. Esteem is part of us that decides which level we go to. Have you ever known why I can go with you? Okay? We meet girls. And then you choose a teacher or a lawyer or a nurse or an engineer. You know why? Because we have different levels of esteem. That's why in these days, an Adventist woman who has graduated, gotten some good job, earns some good money, has a good fancy house, and drives a good house, takes long, if not forever, to marry. Because most of our boys have low self-esteem. When she offers a ride, he looks at it as disrespect. How can a woman drive me? I don't even have a bicycle. How can I marry that one? Where does she get money from? Possibly from men. Who tells you women cannot make their own money? And who tells you the things she owns are part of the marriage? Low self-esteem. Esteem is the worthiness you feel where you measure up. There are some people who know they are high or highly regarded. And then there are others who think and believe and actually practice that they are low. Even when they are good big men, you see their problem is esteem. They think they are nothing. Have you seen those? Someone is studied. He's here. He has studied medicine. He has studied engineering. He studied those good courses. Who the hell on earth does not fear doctors? Tell me. Who doesn't know doctors are prestigious and rich and successful people? Everyone. Every kid grows wanting to be a doctor. And a doctor here graduates but cannot stand up and talk to this girl. Why? Because he looks at the girl looks too cute. The girl looks some money. So he thinks the girl will not accept. Why dare you think they won't accept you? Esteem. I have always had one formula and I'm going to leave it with you. I think I learned that one day when I had gone for a seminar in Entebbe. That before you take a risk, calculate the worst scenario. Write that down and understand it. Before taking any risk, calculate the worst scenario. What does this mean? If I have 1 million shillings, okay? And that's all I have. And I want to invest in a business. I'm going to buy eggs. And then eggs, put them on a bicycle, take them to Mbarara and sell them and come back. What is the worst scenario? I may fall down and they break and all my money is gone, okay? They may steal them. I'm gone. They may even kill me when they attack to steal them. Okay? So can you put up with the worst scenario? Can you put up with the risk? First understand. I don't know if you get me. You get me? If you came to me, you had a need, okay? Your tuition is lacking 200,000, okay? and exams are next week. You see me and you think I can help you. You want to talk to me, okay? But you're fearing to talk to me. It's a risk, okay? What is the worst scenario if you tell me? The worst scenario. What is it? The worst scenario is I don't have. Does the worst scenario kill you? Does it kill you? That is worth risking. If the worst scenario does not kill you or cripple you forever, take the risk. Amen? Amen? If you come to your sister and tell her, sister, I have not been comfortable for the last 2 years whenever we are in church. I think I'm in love with you. What is the worst scenario? Kill you? This is a coward. That is cowardice. What is the worst scenario, guys? She can say, no, I'm not interested, brother. She may say, stupid, go. Look at how you look like. How can I take you? Stupid, look at your feet. Some of them are stupid. They are insulters. But that is the worst scenario. Oh, the worstest, if I could say, she can even give you a slap. Go. Never come with your jeans here. Can that kill you? Try. Amen? Because that can't kill you. Now, how do I fear talking to a woman who cannot kill me of how I feel about her? Tell her. If she does not feel the same way you feel, she'll tell you, please, brother. And most of these women are gentle. They have been trained. They don't even insult you. They'll tell you, I also would have wanted, but someone else is saying me. You know, as gentle as that. Stop making it war. And you start telling everyone in church, that girl, she sleeps with that one, with the other one, because he has refused you. Yes. Yeah? Which alternative? Keeping silent. It's not better. Why? Because already I'm talking about a guy that has feelings in the heart, okay? So keeping quiet on your feelings is actually destroying you. So it's not better. Not any better. Say it out. They will not kill you. And they don't bite. The worst scenario cannot kill you or cripple you. Whenever you're going to do something, if you measure up and the scenario is not worth your life, please, go ahead. If the scenario is serious enough, calculate your steps. You remember the Mutoro guy who was conning a minister? You remember that time? The guy that was imprisoned and mistreated? He did not calculate the steps. But at least he was bold. That's why everyone was behind him in the country. Say up what you think. So, esteem. How does dating improve esteem? My dear, I think you're not offended that I'm using it again. You told me you're doing BSAF, and I forgot your name already. Olive. Winnie. Okay. And you know what I've done? It's not good. Women don't want men that forget their names. You don't forget her name. Halfway to write it. Don't forget her name. Asking her name again is not good. Winnie, I will not forget you again. I'm sorry. I'll not forget you again. Now, Winnie, I want to ask you a question. If you studied, finished P7, finished Senior 4, finished Senior 6, and here you are at campus, and no single gentleman on earth has ever come tell you, Winnie, you're beautiful. I think I love you. How would you feel? Tell me, how would you feel? Would you feel good? But what would be in your mind? Tell us. Tell us. What would be in your mind? Tell us. What do you think would be in your mind?
What would be in my mind? Kind of number of questions.
Like?
What is wrong with me?
What is wrong with me?
Am I really not beautiful?
Am I not really beautiful? You hear the question? Go on. You're gone, gone, gone. You see? What's wrong with me? In fact, you may get into your mirror and you start saying, see yourself all through. Is something wrong with me? Esteem. And you know what follows? If you are still in those questions, and some stupid man, I'm using the word stupid because he is not at least near a man you dream to have, comes to you and tells you, Winnie, all these years I've been longing to talk to you. I love you. Would you be my girlfriend? What would you say?
Actually, I want.
So that you don't face the microphone, okay? You have forgotten the question.
Yep.
I am going to be very enthralled. I'm going to be very obsessed because perhaps this is what I was longing for and I've gotten it, of which perhaps I might even be getting it from a wrong person, one who doesn't match the standards of a man I would wish to have. I will accept and
She's telling us right experience. You cannot dare say no. Where do you base on? Sister, where do you base to say no? No one has ever said, this is a savior. How do you say no, I don't want you? You don't measure up. You don't the type of a guy I want. How do you say that? It's a savior. It's a miracle. Likewise, if you're a man and you have been a verbal guy and you've talked to more than 100 girls and everyone says, no, may you die, may you perish. Look at your feet, look at your chin, look at how you look like, look at your father, you're like your brother, you're like your, how would you feel? All this long you've been thinking, am I not worthy? Is something wrong with me? And here you come and you're moving and you meet, you're a graduate, but you meet a P6 river who has been selling yellow bananas at the village there, and she looks somehow cute. And then you see she's getting closer to you. And then you tell her, and she tells you, you are the most handsome man I've ever met. Tell me how you reason again to think about an engineer you wanted. Tell me. How do you? Will you? President, will you? Will you drop such an opportunity? Sometimes you look at the kind of women we marry and the kind of husbands that we marry, and you tell our esteem needs. It is important that you guys work upon your esteems now, before you reach this period of dating and courtship. If your esteem cannot be raised too much, your desires, I'm worried, you will always get less than expected. You'll get less than expected. Raise your esteem. Next time, possibly I will talk about that. Esteem. How do you raise your esteem? Because that's also a whole issue. How do I raise my esteem? How? It is something that is biological and psychological to talk about. It's a topic of its own. Or possibly, President, you can remind me and I can make an audio about it. Then I drop it on the group. Esteem. If you see a friend with esteem need, help them. I have one friend who is struggling with a relationship now. And I don't think it's what he wanted. But it's what is available. Low esteem allows you to take what is available instead of what you want. Have you heard about that? That women, as they grow, they change from Mr. Right to Mr. Available. You've heard about that? It's the same with you men. Low self-esteem forces you to take what is rejected instead of what you would have wanted to have. Esteem. Work upon your esteems. You are students, you can go and research psychologically, see how can I raise my esteem. There are even esteem tools, studies, psychological esteem studies that you can answer and then get the mark, and then they tell you this range means this range. So you go check yourself. Is my esteem high, low? And you know when the esteem is also too low, too high, it becomes bad. It turns into pride. Complacence. If you think you're better than anyone else, you're perfect, nothing misses, you're everything, it turns into pride, and it's also not good. You can do esteem case studies and tests. Check on the internet and ask esteem tests and see psychologically. They give you questions, the questionnaire, you answer, then they give you, if you get this mark and this means that. You know those tools of such psychological tools or tests. Work on your esteem. And one thing this dating does is that if you have dated 5 girls and all of them have accepted, but at some point you have not worked out, at least you're sure in your heart that I am worth. Okay? I can attack anyone because even the 5 I attacked, none of them rejected. You get the point? But if whoever you have been talking to has been rejecting, you have no guts to talk to another one. Okay? If you have been a woman that has been open and very millions of men have come to you, your esteem levels have grown to think that every man on earth wants me. That forces you that when a man comes to you, you have chance to look at him and say, no, I don't want you. Someone that measures up with me will come. That is esteem. Okay? Dating does right that. Dating allows us to respect the opposite sex. Some men are disrespectful. Some men are male chauvinists. Some men take women as objects. I hate them. A man. There's a girl, she was a friend and a Christian, fell in love with another man who was a Christian and my OB. And then this girl asked me that, would you recommend that I marry this man? I knew both of them pretty well. And the truth is I didn't give my recommendation. I said no. He doesn't measure up. He's my OB. I've studied with him. I know him. It's the disrespect of women. And I'm coming to learn with age that you have to cut your mouth short when you're talking about people that are dating. Because you may think you're advising them, but tomorrow when you meet them hand in hand, they will start talking about you. You see him, he didn't want us together. Probably he wanted me. He wanted this faith. And he asked you as though he wanted advice. Be serious when you're advising people that are in love. I've learned that. Better keep your mouth shut and leave them to work their things out. Because when they get together, they will talk about you. You'll become a topic. You'll be bad. And yet they came to you seeking advice. So, I told this girl no. On different instances, she kept asking me about it, and I gave her red flags all through. And this one day, she tells me a story, and I said, okay. You know what I told her? He said, no, you can bear with that. You know why I said it? This was like the 10th time she was asking me about the same man. I was telling her no. And every time she would come with a different scenario that was stupid. And I would advise her and she would continue the man. So I reached a point and said, oh, it means I'm bad. This girl, irrespective of how she's asking, she's willing to continue. So please let her continue and test. So this one instance, she came to me and called me and told me, this man, she was in Kampala and the man was here in Western Uganda. And this man traveled in the weekend, came to visit me. And you know what happened? I don't know where the conflict was, but the boy got sugar cane. You know sugar cane? There were 3 internodes and hit her on the head with sugarcane as a reaction of anger. And when she gave me a call, she was crying. And I told her, no, those things happen, please. You can be patient. He will change. That's what I told her. What would I have told such a woman that I have always told he is not the right man for you? And he was going on. Some people don't ask advice, take it. They ask advice to console their hearts, only to go on with such messy things. Now, if a boy disrespects you to the level of beating you while dating you, what will happen when you're home? What will happen? I don't like human abusers. And so, dating increases that. The key point in this first principle that I'm going to only deal with and finish, I'm not going to touch two now, I'm finishing this. The main key point is that human beings are social beings, and we relate at three levels: mind, soul, and body. That's why it is important to date. As you date, you're relating at all those levels. And dating allows you to understand the other party very well. Healthy relationships should always begin at a spiritual and intellectual levels. Levels of purpose, motivation, dreams, and personality. Getting physical distorts the purpose of dating and compromises reason and integrity. Have you heard that? There are 4 types of beauty that I always considered for all my time I was dating. And these are here. Physical beauty, beauty of character, beauty of intellect, beauty of personality. 4. And among all those, the least important is the physical beauty in a marriage. Nyash. Nyash is the least important thing in a marriage. And yet it is very important, because without it, you may not attract a suitable mate. I will not know that you're good in the heart when you are not physically attracting me. You have to first physically attract me, and then I come closer and I learn the other better part of you. But if you take physical beauty above the other 3, you are messing up. Character, intellect, and personality supersede physical. But physical is also good. At some point I will describe those. But what I want to tell you is, at all those, the intellectual and spiritual should always lead your decisions before you look at the others. Relationships should start at that. Stop being attracted to fellow church members because they have put on skimpy dresses or tight pants. Get attracted to them because they have discussed well the spirit of prophecy. Because they seem to reason as men. Because as a woman, she speaks, and you hear she speaks as a woman. At least start from that level and reach the other levels. But if you always get attracted from the physique, she looks nice, he's tall, American, he's brown. Hey mama, he smiles and I die off. They won't build you. They won't bring food on the table. Start relating at spiritual levels, because we are spiritual beings who are seeking God's kingdom. How much I wanted to go beyond this. How much I wanted to teach until it is dark. But I want to ask that I stop here. I want to ask that I stop here. Because it is already 5:30, and I will allow counsel to greet you. I know she's a woman of few words. She will just greet you. I've talked much about her. You never know, must have been lying some of the things. Let me give her a chance to say, no, he was lying. He didn't meet me that way. Counsel, please, you're welcome. Your worship. Come. Is that a question? Yes, go on. committing yourself with words. Just familiarize them and be friendly to them, okay? Get to know them. You cannot tell me you failed to get to know someone. By going to church with them, by meeting them for Bible lessons, by meeting them for prayer sessions. Meet them in common things, okay? Don't take them deeper to person. Okay? Oh, there's a question again. I wanted to finish. Yes. Welcome, dear. What is done during courtship? First of all, sex is not done during courtship. Romance is not done during courtship. And that's why I'm telling you, cut your courtship periods. Okay? Because by that time, remember, it's a period you have decided to live with this person. And she has also known your intentions. And she's also decided. Meaning that you two have something that is putting you together. If you prolong it, you make mistakes. If you start meeting in corners, you make mistakes. Meet in public, open places. Make sure that your topics that you're discussing are not personal. Keep them casual. Politics, soccer, football, academics. When you start to, I love you, you know, when you're not around, I start thinking about you. When you talk about that nonsense, how long will you hold that before you look into his eyes critically? Can you hold that discussion for an hour? I love you, you're beautiful, you're good. Can you hold it for an hour? 10 minutes, you're down. Don't engage in such. And in most cases, it is a role of girls to divert discussions. Girls, use your wisdom to divert discussions. When you see him becoming so personal, which is also good and sweet, you know, I know you also want to hear those sweet nothings in your ears. But when he's so much of sweet nothings, divert the topic. Take it to politics. Talk about Arsenal and Tottenham. So what is done in courtship is setting a path. What are we doing afterward? When? Okay? We've started courting. I love you, you love me. We are ending in marriage. So what do? It is April. In June, let's go to your home. Bargain for dowry, okay? In July or August, I will take the things. In September, introduction. In December, wedding. So whenever you meet, make sure that every time you meet, you have an agenda of what you're going to work upon or talk about. That's when you make sense. Those 3 meetings with no agendas will cause you problems. Have agendas. Know that today we're going to talk about this and this, okay? Okay? That doesn't eliminate the fact that you may go out, hang out, go for movies, have some outings and just walkings, evening. All those can happen. But avoid their rooms. Let them avoid your rooms in those corners and keep that safe, okay? Make sure that in that time you're engaging in things that build you and the trust. Mainly planning the activities ahead of you, okay? That's what I would say. It's a big question. I cannot answer it in 1 minute, but I'm trying to just answer it anyway. Okay. If you have questions, let's ask them at the end. Allow me to call your worship. Okay. It's your title, so I cannot, you know, those counsel can be called anything. My Lord, my worship, my honor. So let's put our hands together to come demonstrate for one love.
Good evening. Praise God. The Lord is good and all the time. Thank you. I am Mbarara's Gloria, Tweteise. They have already introduced me. So my sharing with you, there will be a few words because I know I'm talking to adults. So I don't have to waste time as if I'm talking to primary students. Let's first humble ourselves for a prayer. Thank you, Lord, for this time, for this day. Thank you for this wonderful Sabbath. Thank you for everything that has taken place, that has been said throughout this day. Now we are going to share this last program. May you put your words, may you give me wisdom, explain what you want and what you want your servants to take. Thank you so much. May you lead me with your Holy Spirit. I've prayed those few words in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm going to talk about this confusing topic. Early relationships come and go. And my conversation or my sharing with you is going to be question answer conversation. I'm going to ask questions. You tell me your mind, then we resolve and we see what we should go with, right? Because I've said I'm talking to adults and whom I think they can marry at any time. There is no qualification for marriage that for one to get married, you should be like this and this. No. Any one of us can marry, can get married. My first question. Anyway, let's first discuss about the topic. Early relationships come and go. What do you understand by that? Is it true anyway? Is it okay for relationships to come and go? Hello? Anyone, you can raise hands and we discuss. Do you think it's okay? Someone take a mic. The other person.
Yes, I think it depends on the level of the relationship. Like from what we've actually heard, if you're just dating, I think it's okay for it to come and go.
Okay. Any other person?
For me, trying to understand what early relationships come and go, what I would understand in terms of early, it means, for me, it may mean when it's not the right time. For example, a relationship that happens in year one of someone who has 5 years of study, what I've seen so far, there is 90% probability that will not succeed. So maybe I may feel that is too early. Of course, someone in A level may feel they are ready for a relationship, but for me now, at this level, I will know that actually may not be the right time, though they may feel. So for me, I feel like a relationship that comes before the right time, before people are mature enough to make some decisions, they are most likely to end and we shall not be surprised.
Thank you. The President.
Yes. For me, I think relationships come and go. It's true. And to my say, it's very right. Because a relationship to go, it means it was at some moment not making sense to the people who were in that relationship. And it's that's right for a relationship to come and go, because we all know that a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage.
Thank you so much. Okay. I think they have answered that question. And this question is two-way traffic. It is okay for early relationships to come and go because of the reasons they have given. Because the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. You cannot find without searching. So it means you search for a good wife among the many, like the way Teacher Arnold said. You try so very many people, but you end up getting one. That is what we call finding. Otherwise, if you get right away, if you don't, you've not searched from many people, that one we call it, is it picking? You've picked something. You've come across something. But when you find, it means you've searched from the many and you've fallen on the right thing. So, and even Proverbs 31 tells us that a good wife comes from who? From God. So you will always search for that good wife who comes from God. And the other side of the negative side of this, sometimes it might not be your reason. You might not be looking for the right person. Maybe you're wasting people's time, and that is bad. Do we agree? You know it's not your time for searching. You're not ready for marriage, but you're already sleeping around with girls who are ready. Is it, am I communicating? That one is bad, and all of us who are adults, we can understand. So when we go to the Christian side, that is wrong. Let us stop wasting people's time. Mostly the boys or the men who are here, because you're no longer boys. You're men. If you know you're not ready, if you know you have 5, 10 years to come to marry, please, 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 don't waste people's time lying to them that you're going to marry them. Go into a relationship when you're ready, because you don't know how us women, we are hopeful. Like the way he was saying, when you talk to us, and for us we are ready, there's the way we tend to act. Sometimes we put you on pressure, right? Am I right? Because we don't want to waste time. So when you approach us and I give you a chance, please, please, let's be open and say our intentions instead of wasting people's time. Another question is, when? Okay.
Thank you very much. Ali, in the previous question, Ali can have two meanings. Ali can mean we are in a relationship. So, sorry, I have met this person and I intend to choose them from whoever I have met, and then how fast you go into things. And so that is how much deep have you gone into relating to each other as you're leading to marriage. How much journey have you traveled with this person from the time you've dated them the first time, then to the time you're going into courtship, like that. Then Ali can also mean you as an individual, irrespective of people around you. If you're a child of 19 and you are in a relationship and you're in senior 6 VAC, that can be an early relationship. Now, generally early, someone who looks at that gentleman is looking at a young person, much as they are beyond 18, but they are young. So what was the exact meaning of that early?
Early, in the first context, I meant what is okay is that dating process. You're searching for someone and you're ready for marriage. Means you're searching, so meaning you will drop some and take up one person. Meaning the ones, is it, you said it is opportunity cost. That opportunity cost, now you've left them. They are the first relationships, but the end result, you've picked one person. So the other people, you've dropped them. Those first relationships in this context, where we've said it is okay, you've dropped them it was your first time, it was your first step to look, to search for the person. Meaning, those ones are the early relationships that come and go, and we've said it is okay. You get? Then on the other side, that's why I've said it is not good. When you know you're not ready, and you know you cannot sustain a marriage, don't waste people's time. They are an early relationship. You cannot say it's okay, come and go. Then, to those whom now I'm looking at the side of men, the man is okay to drop women, but the people you've dropped might be ready for marriage, but you've dropped them. Then I pose a question. Do I have me as a lady, I will start asking myself, like the way she said, do I have a problem? Is it okay? Sometimes, maybe it is you. Maybe it is the man who has dropped the other. But when they leave you, is it okay? You whom they have dropped, is it okay? Is it okay? Because they have chosen one. You will be here and you know someone is my boyfriend, but tomorrow you hear they have wedded someone else. So what comes into your mind? You'll start asking yourself, is it okay? Do I have a problem? Is it okay anyway? Can we answer that? We the ladies, is it okay?
It is okay when the person who is being dropped is given a valid reason as to why. And it is
Go on.
I'm forgetting my points. Okay, I was saying that it is okay if the person who is dropping the other one is giving a valid reason as to why they are leaving.
Let's say they have not told you the reason.
Then they have not told me the reason?
Yes, you hear that your boyfriend, the one you've been telling, your friend,
it's not okay.
Has gotten married.
It's not okay.
It is not okay, like the way you've said. It is not okay. And another thing is, on the other side, it is okay.
Because we've said a good wife comes from God. It means when you are the good suitor to the other person, meaning he's also a good person to you. So a good husband also comes from God, because it is the vice versa. Meaning this person who has dropped you, he isn't yours. Like the way my husband was saying. He prayed about it. And maybe the son has landed on me, or it landed on me. So the other people were dropped. They never had any problem. They were okay, but they were not the suitors at the moment. So there, it is okay. It is okay when someone drops you. Don't die, don't cry, don't get frustrated. Those people were not your suitors. That person was not meant to be yours. And we have to know that God has the best plans for us. You might be dating someone and you feel if they are not well, you cannot live. If they checked you, you will die. I have a friend of mine. There was some guy who was interested in her. And my friend was not interested in this guy. The guy stretched and kept on asking the lady, please, 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 allow me. But the lady was not interested. This guy left university. He left university. Second semester he did not return. So friends got concerned and reached out to him. They asked, "You don't know why I'm not coming back?" The guy's like, "If Shady does not allow me to be the man in your life, I'll not come back." So they tried to convince my friend, "Shady, please at least try and bring this man back." Because he's the only boy in their family who was at the university, who has ever reached at the university. So the father even begged that, "Bring that girl, come and convince at least she lies, so that my boy comes back." But you can see the level. Someone said, "Esteem." Yeah, someone gets possessed over someone, and if they are not around, they feel they cannot really live, and that is very bad. Like the way they said, when you feel like that way, just run for your life. Make sure you make a distance from that person you feel you cannot live without, because anytime they move out of your life, you're finished. Somewhere you reach and you feel you cannot continue with your studies, you will never marry. Actually, you leave the job. If he's a workmate, you will leave the job because you cannot work around with them, and it is very bad. So whenever you are in a relationship, know that the worst can happen, right? And prepare for it, that when it comes, I should know that God never made that person for me. And console yourselves, because love can be so complicated, and we are complicated. You'll be here with a guy feeling he's your guy, kumbe he's planning some other things. You'll be here with a lady thinking she's your future wife, yet those are not her plans. So we should be careful with these early relationships. Make sure you leave a gap how you feel. Make sure don't be too much into it, because it spoils. And when you get such disappointments and they affect you, you end up, those are the ladies you hear, they force themselves on the guy. Have you ever heard of them? You feel you've been dropped so many times. Men are leaving you every now and then. And when you land on someone who even says hi or speaks to you for a minute, you feel, now I will cling on this one. Any lady who comes close to him, you feel like you want to bite them. You start sending messages, "Leave my man, leave my man." Those are the disappointments those people have met, and they have affected them mentally. So letters, and you feel every guy who wants to date you and they know you like that, they will run away for their lives, because they will say, "That one can beseech you like she can super glue on you. The moment you say hi, she'll be on your neck. Your room, your lecture, she'll be looking for you." So let us ladies avoid such things. Let us avoid getting into early relationships so deep. We should expect two things. Either it will end in marriage or end in where? In tears. And prepare for that. Another thing, I'll ask you a question. How many relationships should I be in? Should I be engaged in before marriage? Can we answer that question? All right. No answer, right?
I am not speaking from experience. I am.
Okay, it's okay.
I am speaking from the matter and the content we've learned today. According to how I have understood, as long as I am free to date, I can only stop when I find who I want and I choose.
Right. I cannot add on that. Not until you find the one that is meant for you. Don't stop searching. All right?
I will start by asking you a question. Do you also believe in love at first sight? That you can meet a person, you love that person, and perhaps that relationship leads to marriage?
Of course I do.
In the previous sharing, even in the morning, Teacher Arnold, which you have also complimented this evening, you've spoken about comparing and perhaps getting the alternatives, right? But I would like to draw an example from the Bible, and that is Isaac. We see that Isaac didn't go out there to choose a wife for himself, but they brought for him somebody, saw that person, loved that person, and the relationship led to marriage, right? So, why do you speak about comparing and perhaps dating as long as you can when you have met somebody, perhaps you believe this person is the right person and the relationship can lead to marriage? Can you give more clarity on that?
I will say, yeah, you can meet someone at first sight. You love them, they love you back, and it ends up in marriage, if God wills. You get? Because when you meet someone at first sight and you fall for them and they fall for you, it doesn't mean you've never dated anyone. I might have seen very many, but at this time I've met someone and I'm drawn to them nearer. And as I get to know them, I find they are the people I was looking for. She's the one, he's the one. And we end up in marriage. So I believe in it. Ask something else. Have I answered you?
Assuming, let's just assume, I'm not giving any proof for this, assuming that person has never dated anyone. Did Isaac ever date anyone before meeting Rebecca?
Okay. When we talk of marriage, I think Teacher Arnold also talked about it. You don't just go far. You pray. He said you pray. If you look at the situation of Isaac, it was about God. He involved God. And there are specific things, the signs he asked for. If this is the person, I want this and this to happen. And it happened. Why would he go on? And when he looked at the lady, he appreciated she's the one. Why would he go around searching for more? We are not saying you have to search around. We are saying in the world we are in, it's complicated. You'll not fall for everyone. Some people you fall for them, but they are not the right people. And we are not saying you shouldn't approach. If you look at the lady, of course, the first thing is you're drawn to them. You're drawn to that man. You're drawn to that lady. You come near to them. But it depends on what you find in them that will keep you around. Let's say Isaac fell for that lady without the other signs for the first time. Do you think he would have said, I don't want the woman? No. But because I think he took, or the reason he took up this lady is the prayer. They had prayed and he believed in God that this is the woman. And when the woman came, he appreciated, and he knew. But in our world today, you move around, you see a person and you think she's good. But by the time you get to know them, you end up seeing that they are not. But you might get attracted to someone, and indeed, what you prayed for, you find them in those people. What you wanted is in them. Why shouldn't you take them up? So I don't think every relationship has to be built the way we've explained. There are people who have explained different things. But we are talking about the world we are in. It's complicated. You have to be extra careful. You don't just go sheepishly. Or you say love is blind. Because I love him, because I do what, let me go with him. That one is never enough. If you go because you have fallen for them, you'll end up crashing, if not serious. Yes? Do we understand each other? Yes? Talk.
Yes. I've not seen anywhere in the Bible where there's a heartbreak or what. Yes, I believe we can prevent those things from coming to us by Isaac is a very good example, mostly to gentlemen because they're the ones searching, right? Before you search out for anyone, because you realize if this person does not bring intentions to this girl, chances are high the girl will never be disorganized. So before they do that, I think they should prayerfully do that, not out of impulse, because if it's out of impulse, that is when you're going to get things like heartbreak, those terrible, terrible things. Then also, I am asking that dating stage. I don't know if people just misuse it, but there is this thing called flattery. Yes, and you find someone is flirting with different people. How do we take that? And then they like have like maybe 5 girls, and they are all assuming things for them simply because they were flirting too much. To what extent should this dating thing go? What should they do? What? Yes. And then they claim that, oh, it's not flattery, we are just naturally nice. I mean, I feel like that is playing on someone. To what extent should it go?
That question is very good. And that one has affected a lot of us girls. You flatter with a person for too much. Even the community itself thinks you people are dating, right? Someone is around you each and every moment, and everyone thinks that you're dating. And even you, the lady, think the person is maybe interested. Though they are not saying it, but you feel they are going to say it, right? It is very bad. You boys, let us be clear, and we are going to tell you as ladies. If you're not sure about us, keep a distance. Let it be when you're sure and you're drawn to us. Maybe you are about to say it. That is when flattering should come. But this thing of jumping every time you're close to a person, in someone's room, everywhere around the person, that person, make sure there is a signal you are sending, and it is very bad. I also don't like it when a boy flatters around a girl over and over. And what you're saying about everyone's wish, every girl's dream, or every man's, I don't know the men, but every girl's dream is to land on the right person at the first time, right? Everyone does not want to get heartbroken, isn't it? You want the person you fall in love the first time should be your husband, because there's that feeling you feel like you don't want to let it go. So it is good. It is good. And that is the wish every one of us wishes to have. But when you're already faced with a heartbreak, or you are in a relationship, this is your first person, you're already in it, you see they are not worthy of you, run. Don't say, I'm going to stay. That is the situation I think Teacher Arnold was talking about. Don't overstay in a relationship that you see is not going anywhere. Or approach as many people as you can to look for a person you're looking for. That quality you're looking. Not until you get it. Don't settle for less. But when you know that you already have the person and they are your first people, and he's the first person or is the first lady you've met, and they all meet the qualifications, why not go for them? But if you know that there is that space and you're not comfortable with it, let us be sure. If there is something in a relationship you are in and you feel you cannot take it up, or stay with it, because a marriage is a lifetime commitment. So if there is anything you're not comfortable with it, and you cannot live with that person when he or she has that thing, please run before you enter into a marriage. The thing of he will change or she will change does not work. As long as God has, abanyankore nubagira ngo ibare kugira ki eri kurebwa tiri kwita ki fuka tiri kwita fuka. So if you've seen, I've heard him say red flags. If you see anything that is not appropriate and you cannot stay with it, please don't settle there. Run and look for the best, because God has given you a chance to search for that person you feel is the best person and he can suit you. Are we okay? Then another question is, when should I get serious? When should I get serious? We've said, if you I was telling the guys, if you know you're not serious, don't disturb people and waste people's time. When should I get serious? Anyone? Any answer? When should I get serious? Who can answer me? When? What is the stage? Should I say when I'm in my final year? When I've just started campus? When should we get serious? When I've started working? Like when? Can someone tell me? Because I know here some of us are dating. Do you think it is the right time? Someone answer me.
Since they have said that we should not take a lot of time, for example, in courtship, and the same I think applies to dating, we shouldn't date for a full year. So it means, for example, if I'm to give it 2 months plus 6, that is 8. Which means in 8 months I should be able to be serious. If I'm in my second year and I'm supposed to finish in 3 years' time, and I decide to become serious in 8 months, it means I'll become a serious student. And they also become a serious student, and that it may still end. So for me, I feel especially for a gent, better that if you give yourself, for example, a year, let's say maximum a year, that if you're to get serious, will I be able, before you even initiate, that in a year's time I'm able, what if it and it is successful, what am I going to do after 1 year? Let's say that is the maximum time I'm giving myself dating and courtship. Am I able to have this relationship after a year? If it is possible, then I think it's not wise to start in the first place, because you're going to hang in the middle there. So I think when you give yourself the time, and at the end of the time you have the ability to sustain it, then I think that's when you can get serious.
Now I will again elaborate more. I'm talking about when you feel you're ready to enter into a marriage. That's when you should start dating, right? And running around searching. So when is that time? Because at that time when you're dating, I feel you're serious, looking for a person to marry. So when should you? Is there a certain age? Should people at campus date? Should we start in primary when I'm seeing you and I feel I'm serious? When should we start that? That is the point. Not when you're already dating that you should rush the thing. No, I'm asking before, when you feel, right now I can enter into marriage and I can take care of someone, or I can build a home. When is that time?
Okay, personally, I think, like, for example, when you're courting someone, there are those characteristics or personalities that you really want that person to bring on table in case you get married. So personally, I think when me myself, I have those personalities and characteristics, when I have them myself, that's when I'll feel I'm very serious and I'm very ready to marry this person. Other than that, I will feel I'm not ready.
And I'm posing a question to you. Let me first pose a question. Let's say, right now I know you have your dream guy, right? Whom you dream. I want this person. I want him to be like this. I want him to be, those pictures come. So let's say right now the right man, Mr. Right, has reached and you don't have those qualities you're talking about, you're not yet ready. So should you leave the Mr. Right whom you're praying for and all the signs you see, everything is on him? Should we leave him and continue with the qualities until we get all those qualities? Before you answer, I will come back to you. Think about it. Give the mic to the other person behind.
I'm answering the question with reference to men. I believe for me, at this point, we all make goals. And you know that at this point of life, I should have attained this before doing this. So I believe if you're somebody who had planned your life, much as sometimes you plan and things go astray, but at least when you know that at least I had targeted about 100, I had targeted about this, and I've been able to, I had said that before I get married, I should attain about these things. And you really feel that you've reached to about a good percentage of them. Maybe your goal was to accomplish studies, get some land, maybe establish something. When you really feel that, when you know that you've been able to attain these goals that you had set before, I think that would be the right time.
Someone here?
Okay, thank you. To contemplate or to speak about when to marry, I will have to amplify what Brother Musan has talked about with a quote here. And this quote is from Medical Ministry 141. And she says, the ideas of courtship, after so many things, she says, have their foundation in erroneous ideas concerning marriage. And this is why I liked it when the speaker said courtship should be as brief, should be very short as possible. Because she says they follow impulse and blind passion. The courtship is carried on in a spirit of flirtation, and she adds on so many things that the parties frequently violate the rules of modesty and reserve and are guilty of indiscretion. Now, this brings the idea of the question that is being asked: when are you supposed to start dating? Now, you are supposed to start dating given that primary stage is supposed to be initiated when you are almost ready. Such that, as the speaker of today told us, you won't finish or take almost 6 months still dating someone. And when you amplify or when you increase the level of the relationship, that is now to courtship, it should be as brief. Courtship is something that will evolve you to be so intimate, and anything can happen. And that's why, in this context, Ellen G. White is somehow expounding that topic of courtship. So whenever you are regarding courtship, please, and to my brothers and sisters here, please don't compare worldly trends with the principles of the church. Some of you view your friends' statuses and you look at courtship, how they do their things, and you want to bring them here, which they may bring problems. Yeah, I also have to talk about that. But look at the substance. We have always called it the substance or the valor of it. And then, please, the major characteristics of today was the courtship, or whatever stage you may call it, marriage should be heavenward. Look at the partner. Is he able to take my home or my family in heaven? That's what I wanted.
Thank you, thank you. Okay.
We are talking about when to be serious in a relationship. And I'm talking from a perception of a girl just as I am, and just as other girls all over the world. Assuming I am 25 years or 26 years, I have come to pursue a bachelor's in medicine and surgery. But because I am in first year, most people think when you start dating at that stage, the relationship will not be viable. It will perhaps break up at a certain time T. Assuming I will probably finish that course maybe when I'm 31 years. And I have missed opportunities. You will have missed opportunities. Me, I would take it that you need to be serious after meeting that person who meets the standards that you have set. Because time might reach your past stage. Many men approached you and you didn't give them opportunity. You were unserious. By the time you be serious, no one will be there. Right?
I'm getting you. Thank you so much. All you are.
I'm also, there are people saying after making your plans and all that, how about you get maybe rich, you get your land at 40 years. Then after 40 years, is that when you become serious? Because that is when you've accomplished all your plans that you had set. And maybe you had chances just there, and because you hadn't finished your plans, and then you have no chance this time. Yes, you have your plans, but now you do not have. Yes, men say they don't expire, but I feel like they also know. Yes,
They do. Yeah, all your answers, I think they are right, because everyone has said what he feels is suitable for them, right? Because, like the way she said, I might be in year one or even in secondary, but when I pursued my studies when I'm already old. So when that opportunities comes, should I let it go? You take it up, because for you in your heart you feel you are ready. You are serious. So it depends. It goes with a person. It is at the personal level. We cannot say you can go for marriage at this when you're like this. No, there are people who go for marriages when they are at 40 years. I think that's when they have gotten serious, right? So whenever I think you should go for marriage or start a journey of marriage at a time when you feel you can go in for it. Not these jokes. We've been talking about jumping from a relationship to another relationship when you know in your heart you have 10 years to come for you to start a marriage. Why should you start wasting people's time? So go for dating, go for courtship when you are serious. Don't start dating or courtship and when you know you have 20 years to come to marry. That just know for you be doing yourself a good service, but to the other party you're doing a service. So let's have that consideration always. Are we communicating? The second last, how do I know the right one has come? I think we shouldn't even discuss about it. We talked about it in the earlier discussion. How do you want your intended marriage to be? That is a question for all of us. How do you want your intended marriage to be? How do you wish it to be? Is there anyone with an answer? Because we've seen very many people whom we call to come and advise us like us. We shall tell you a marriage should be like this. A marriage, when you go in a marriage, you should do like this. Because I'm telling you what I do at home. And when you call the other shrewd person, and a woman who has divorced or she has problems in the home, she will tell you, you should treat a man like this, like this. Do you think is the right thing to do? For you, where do you want to see yourself in 20 years to come or in 5 years to come? And how do you see your family? What do you wish? Or which kind of family do you want to see yourself in?
There are so many things I could wish my family to have.
Thank you. Say it.
But there is one thing that it must have. And that is God.
Thank you.
When a family has God, should I say it will be self-contained? You're looking for love. You're looking for care. You're looking for a man who doesn't cheat, one who upholds the commandments of God. That man will never cheat. Why? He has God.
That is one, because she says God is the finisher of everything. When a man has God, just know you will have no insecurity. God has already is in control of that man. She's right.
Thank you very much. Those questions, the last two, are somehow sequential questions. If we have been directed on how we shall know that this is my right mate, then through the same standard, the expectation is one who has enabled us to come this far must take us all through. So I will still stand with her mind, God first. But then, it is true we can always go to church together. We can always have Bible studies together. But there are more to that. We are physical human beings that are living. I think why we need dating and courtship is to share these things so that we know what are your perspectives or views in this life. How do you intend to live after now? I share with you mine, and we come to some conclusions. So I would think that I want to look at a family where we are having the same goal. We have brought these things together. Let me be lifted by coming close to you. Let me lift you because I have married you. It is possible that we can achieve both our goals in life and also have our marriage work. Yes.
Thank you. Any other person? What would you wish your family to be? Like, what is your dream family? You want to just fall in the thing without any vision or expectations. Someone told me.
For me, I would wish to be to have friends. My children should be my friends. My wife should be my friend. So what if someone comes at home and they find us joking? Because for me, I'm a joker. Not a joker in terms of serious business, but I love telling jokes and joking. So
I understand.
I would want someone who has a high sense of humor, whom you tell an inverse joke and they understand what you're talking about and you laugh about it.
I get it.
And my children should also not fear. Should not fear me. Yes, they should have that respect, but they should be as friendly. Because it is very interesting when you see, at our age, when you see someone talking to their dad freely and they are laughing like age mates almost. It's very interesting. So I'd want friendship, a lot of friendship. Though, because friends can easily tolerate. When you put away the marriage bit, when you're friends, you can tolerate a lot of things and you can move past a lot of things and your friendship keeps growing. And when you're an old man, when your children will never leave you, because at this point people are struggling to leave their home because they are tired. But when you're friends with their parents, you can easily go back. So I'd want a home, an environment of friendship, of course with God, but friendship is my ideal place where I come, not to my wife, but to my friend, not to my children who are going to run away, turning off the TV, but to welcome that dad has come and we sit and talk and joke and goes on like that.
Thank you so much. Any other person?
I thank everyone for their contributions. They were really nice contributions. And what I can add is that a role model family is very, very important. Being a role model in all aspects, that is spiritual, behavior, actually all corners of life. Because right now, the world believes it's impossible to have a good family. Yes, so a role model family is very important because first of all, it is doing mission. And also, it is also a light to the children because I don't believe that children would get spoiled if they are brought up in such a family. They will always look up to their parents and also wish to have the best.
Thank you so much. Any other person? Thank you so much. Those are the answers I wanted, and there's something I wanted to tell you that let us work upon that. I know each and every one of us have their dream family, though some have not said what they think and what they wish, but I am sure each one of us wants a good family and a role model family, like she said. So, I want to ask, or I want to pose this statement. I am very sure that by the time you decide to take up someone, to take up the husband, to take up her for a wife, you love them, right? And they are your friends. And at that moment, I feel you jazz, you love, they are your friends, like you can share anything with them. So I would recommend or advise that even when you've moved in with them for marriage, let that stay within. Don't let that relationship of friendship go away because it has destroyed many. And it has made people build their families when it stays. This relationship does not need third parties. Do you know when you have a friend and you hear someone bad-mouthing your friend, how do you feel? Bad. So, when you're in your relationship or you are in your marriage, you started it well. You're going into marriages, but please don't allow third-party advice, because you have, even before you go into marriage, you have your dream family in your mind. Take that role to make it come to pass and come true. And it is only you who is going to make it work, not third parties. Because the third parties have ruined other people's marriages. You will go here, you come to me to advise you. I'll start telling you about my husband, how he's bad, how men cannot appreciate, and I will tell you, don't do this. Actually, when you're doing this, don't disclose this. You see, he will even marry others, so don't trust him so much. You know, my husband did this and this, and tomorrow when you reach at home, you'll start also hiding things, looking at your husband like he's not your friend, as if you're enemies in a family because of the advice they are giving you. So when you have that dream family within you, even in all hurdles, try to make it work. Bring it back to the line. When it goes somewhere and you see it is going or zigzag, please try to bring it again to the line yourself, because there is a dream that you want come true. But if you involve third parties to give you advice about marriage, my dear, they were once like you, and they are battling with their relationships. So please make upon your relationships. Make it work. Don't look at other people's relationships. It is you to stay in it. It is a lifetime thing. So if you joke with it, it will surely hurt you and you fall so badly and you get hurt. So please, I would advise, or I would say, or I'm going to say, a marriage is a bed of roses if you want it to be one. But it will be a bed of thorns if you allow it to be. I know when you go in marriages, this love at one point will reduce. I don't know. If he has been calling you sweetheart, at one point he will start calling you Gloria. At one point he will start calling you Matthias. So you expect that. But remember, he's your person for life. Whether he calls you Gloria, whether he calls you Matthias, he's your what? Your husband. And you're going to stay for life. So don't let that thing he has missed, sweetheart, to make you break and you start saying, maybe he does not love me. Maybe I should divorce. This man is becoming another thing. And you run away from your family, your dream family. Please, though we know we are not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. At one point, we will mess up. But let us, when you mess up, let us work upon straightening the what? The line, so that we can go back. If he's not willing to work upon it, struggle to bring him back. Because when you say all you two and you decide to let it fall apart, it will surely do. So when one has gone astray, let the other one lift that person who has gone astray and you come back to the line. Never allow your relationship. And that's why he has been saying that when you're going into a relationship, remember it is a lifetime thing. Choose that person. If you have your dream home, which you dream to have, work upon that line. Even when you're choosing, choose that person. Like the other one said, I want a friendly environment. I want my family. I want my children. I want my wife. Like when we reach 40s, when we reach 50s, when we reach 60s, we can just laugh and talk. That is what he said. Look for that person whom you know every time she will always make me smile. Don't look at the man and you just say, hey, I've met an advocate or I've met a doctor. Doctors have money. Doctors have, of course, I'm sure he will buy a car, and you know that doctor has no time for you. Even when you're still quoting, he does not have time for you. He just comes and says, tomorrow, actually, next month, I'm going to your home. And you say, okay, sir. Okay, I think we should plan the wedding December. Okay, sir. You feel he's not your friend. For you, you are happy. I'm getting married to a what? A doctor. I'm getting married to a lawyer. I'm getting married to a respectable person. At home, they will say, he has brought a teacher. He's educated. And you feel, now, nzaba ina chalo. But the truth is, if he's not your friend, just know you'll get frustrated in that relationship. And remember, it is a lifetime thing. If you're already in it, it is very hard to get out of it. So please look for that person who makes you feel comfortable. And that is the person whom you are ready to say, honey, oh, sweetheart, I want us to do this. And he sits and listens to you. And he values your ideas. He will not say you're stupid. Do you have money? You talk as who? Don't you know I have more books than you? Do you have anything to say? I'm the one who plans here. And you feel you're inferior to him. No, look for that person whom you know you can sit, just talk, laugh, and he values you in everything he does. He considers you and he brings you in. So that is the person you know. Even at 60, we shall sit and laugh. But the person you feel you're inferior, everything he says, he talks, you say yes. I tell you, even at 60, you will be going around with other women and you just say, let me stay at home because I have nothing to do. He will do anything to make you feel you're not worth it. And you get frustrated for a lifetime. So as you look for a partner, look at the long run thing. It is for a lifetime. Don't just fall into a person because he's educated, because he's a doctor, because he's a lawyer. I've hit a jackpot. You'll be hit. So let us get serious. And when we are getting into marriage, we consider all things, not love only, because I'm fallen for him. There's a time when we are talking about someone, and this lady says, he got this guy. This guy is handsome, like he's irresistible. Every girl falls for this guy. Even the lady said, for this guy. Even the lady who was telling us said, even her, she crushed on the guy. So he said, even the lady is good, but the guy is much more handsome for this lady. So she said they are married, they have kids, but she doesn't know what the man does. She doesn't know the job he does. She doesn't know anything. They bring everything at home. The guy is rich. They have built a mansion. Everything is there. But the lady doesn't know what the husband does. Now years have passed. She comes to know that the man is gay. And some other friend comes and tells her, do you know what your man does? And her, do you know, I've never asked. What do you think that relationship is? It is only we go to bed, we do what we do, I go out and go. As long as I bring you food, don't ask me anything else. Meaning those people are not friends. And imagine they are going to stay in such a relationship for life, and you're staying with such a person. So this woman, when she hears about it, that the man is a homosexual, she tries to ask the man. The man said, why don't I give you everything you want? You drive, you have everything. Why are you asking me? What do you want to know? So when I tell you what I do, will you go away? Get satisfied with that? I cannot tell you anything. That is what, and the lady had nothing to do. She had to keep quiet. So you see such kind of people, you're just drawn to them because of money. Or they are handsome, but they are not good people inside. They don't value you. They just take you as a thing they use and satisfy their feelings or whatever they feel. So let us be careful. If you want a good, a happy marriage, make it a bed of roses and try to work upon it from the right start. Look for that person who is suitable for you. And that suitable person comes from who? From God. I think I will only talk about that, and I call it a day. Come and pray for us.